Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Jimmy Gutman, the author of several best-selling books on the subject of glutathione. I receive a lot of questions about how to raise glutathione, particularly through the use of supplements like oral glutathione pills, cysteine, N-Acetylcysteine, otherwise known as NAC. In this video, rather than talk about which one of these work better than the others, instead, I'll answer a question that not enough people ask, that being, where do these supplements come from? I'm sure the answers will surprise you. So here we go. Just before we start, here are a few sites you may want to check out afterwards. These will give you a lot more information on glutathione. There's a Facebook page where I post new research on glutathione, a YouTube channel where you can enjoy more videos like this one, and a couple addresses where you can buy my latest edition of my book on glutathione, which is the most complete reference you will ever need on the subject. So today, as I mentioned, we're going to take a look at three very popular supplements intended to be used to raise glutathione levels: the amino acid cysteine, the modified amino acid called N-Acetylcysteine, abbreviated as NAC, and finally, glutathione itself, whether it's straight up glutathione or modified forms of glutathione like liposomal glutathione. Again, I'm not going to discuss which one of these are effective or have better efficacy. This is covered in other lectures and other pieces that I've written. Instead, we're going to answer the question, where do these supplements come from? Where are they sourced? How are they made? Let's start with the amino acid cysteine or L-cysteine. At the same time, we'll look at NAC or N-acetylcysteine, which ultimately comes from the same sources. The question I want you to ask yourself is, are these truly natural products? And how different are they from their natural state? Okay, why am I showing a picture of a Chinese barber shop? Well, years ago, the major source of cysteine came from the clippings of human hair from China. No joke. Hair is an excellent source of cysteine. A number of markets, however, took offense, such as the Jewish people and the halal people, because ingesting human body parts are taboo, even hair. And I'm sure many other groups are equally repulsed by this and would elect not to use this source. So the Chinese shifted towards using duck feathers as their supply. Again, feathers are an excellent source of cysteine. So this became the main supply. Not to be outdone, the Americans saw a business opportunity and jumped in, but they didn't use ducks, they used chickens. The chicken industry is huge in the USA, and why let these feathers go to waste? They can be profitable. Now, getting cysteine out of a feather is not easily done. You can't just squeeze a feather and cysteine comes out. It requires many steps, and these generally include chemical modification. I mean, serious steps. So although technically cysteine and N-acetylcysteine are considered natural products, but how far from natural are they, really? Now let's take a look at where glutathione comes from. Does it come from a plant? Does it come from an animal? Does it come from humans? Not enough people are asking these questions. It never crosses their mind to ask. Glutathione supplements come from microbes. Mostly they are derived from certain fungi, such as yeasts, and there are yeasts, yes, that can produce glutathione. There are also certain bacteria that can produce glutathione. Even certain strains of E. coli can produce glutathione. Yes, bacteria and yeasts and fungi. But not just any regular yeast, fungus, or bacteria. These organisms have been highly engineered to produce substantial amounts of glutathione to be harvested. In this study, the fungus Saccharomyces cerevisiae has been altered using an enzyme called reverse transcription polymerase. This is used to shuffle the gene sequence in their DNA to produce more glutathione. Here are 3 other studies that explain other ways how to engineer this fungus to increase production as well. This is all genetic manipulation. Here are a few more studies developing mutant strains to produce glutathione. This last one here, they have fused the genetics, or in other words, made a hybrid bacteria out of E. coli and streptococcus to manufacture glutathione. So, can this glutathione be considered natural? I guess it all depends on what your definition of natural is. But in either case, natural or not, this glutathione is 100% GMO. Yes, 100% GMO. And whether being a GMO product is an issue for you or not, what really matters is whether this glutathione used orally actually does anything to a human being. As any of you who have heard me before, the answer lies in clinical research. What and where is the proof? Here's a chart that covers many of the glutathione-raising supplements that are on the market. And with these is a strength of evidence for each of these as to their effectiveness in raising glutathione. The only 2 substances that have strong clinical evidence done in human beings are NAC and undenatured whey protein isolate. The only ones. In another video, I covered the difference between undenatured cysteine-rich whey protein isolate and NAC, and I compare them head to head. So be on the lookout for that. Thank you for your attention.